Welcome to this movie Reedview with me, Cody Reed. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials. It's part of the Maze Runner series. It's the second one. It's directed by the same director as the first one. And it stars the main cast still, the main two being Dylan O'Brien and Kayla Scodelario. A quick spoiler note, this film picks up directly after the events of The Maze Runner. So if you haven't seen the first film, you probably shouldn't go see this film, and you shouldn't watch this review unless you want to know all the spoilers for kind of what happened in the first film and this one. And also a note, I would probably go rewatch the last 15 minutes or so of The Maze Runner before you see this movie. It might help you understand some things that are going on. With that being said, here we go. Basically, from the events of the first movie, as we know, a solar flare has scorched Earth and also left a deadly virus that basically turns us into zombies. So the movie continues the story of Thomas and his group of friends from the maze as they're trying to escape this new group of bad guys, basically called Wicked. I'm not joking. The organization's name is WICKD. They're known as Wicked, and they're running some tests and doing something weird with the youth in the movie, and they have to try to escape so that they're not part of this evil experiment, and basically what's going on with Wicked. And so I really hate that name, though. It's really on the nose, like, ooh, Wicked is coming after us. Wicked's almost here. Okay, we get it. So this main group goes and escapes Wicked, but they go out into the Scorch, which is basically just the outside world. Everything's kind of like decimated and scorched from the sun. But there's also other elements and other things out there waiting to attack them. But they also encounter these different groups, and they have to search for one group in particular called the Right Hand, which are going to be able to help them fight Wicked and what evil plans they have in store. So this needs to be said just right away. The movie doesn't really explain much. And that's why I said watching the last film may help, but you shouldn't have to be that confused during a movie of like the next installment. It's like you need to be explaining things along the way, because some people, like myself, saw the first Maze Runner last year but haven't seen it since, and so it's been like a year or more, and it's hard to kind of remember some of these things. The movie makes references to a lot of things that happen in the kid's background. They make reference to the movie, but they don't really explain anything or expound upon those ideas and concepts. So me and some of my friends, we were watching it, and then at the end we were like, man, that movie left a lot of like just open questions we had, and it wasn't just from the mysteries, it was from, I can't really remember what happened from the first movie, and this movie doesn't explain a whole lot, and so the movie just kind of left us confused a little bit. The movie is also a tad too long, I think. There's a scene or two that I know that I would have just cut to save a little bit of time, even though it's only like 2 hours and 10 minutes. But the main criticisms I have of the movie would definitely be them not explaining much, which, you know, because we can't remember anything or they don't expound upon those things. And then Wicked. Gosh, that name is so stupid. Now, like the first film, though, there were some entertaining moments. It wasn't just like all bad and all confusing, but there were entertaining moments. The first one had the maze. This one has the Scorch, the different groups they meet, the zombies especially. There's some suspenseful moments with the zombie-like people who have the virus. And even though it is a tad too long, at least the movie moves along at a decent pace, although kind of repetitive because they're going from here to there and finding these different groups, but at least it does move along. I mean, I was interested for pretty much most of the movie, and the acting from the kids are all good. I mean, the youth, especially for their age, you know, they seem to be doing a pretty good job for this franchise, especially Dylan O'Brien, and he has to help lead the franchise and be Thomas, so I think he did a good job as well. So if you're still deciding to see this, I mean, people who like those young adult novels and franchises will probably like this one. It's in the same realm of like Hunger Games and Divergent and The Giver and Maze Runner. You know, all these franchises are all catered towards teenagers, so it wasn't necessarily catered towards me. It was aimed more towards like younger people, and at least a little bit younger than me. So see it if you like these young adult franchises. This one is a decent franchise, and some people are going to like it more or less than the first one, so it's going to be kind of hard to compare, but I say if you like the first one, you might be at least mildly entertained by this one. Like I mentioned, for me it was about the same, so I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. There was a lot of things that needed to be explained more, and it sets it up again for the next sequel, kind of like the first one did. But just like The Maze Runner, it was still entertaining. It had its moments, the characters are good and the actors are good, but it did let me down a little bit. With The Maze Runner, I was expecting more of the maze, and with The Scorch Trials, I was expecting more of the Scorch. Come on. There you go. I'm definitely open to your comments. Leave a comment below in the YouTube channel area. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then also, lastly, send me an email at moviereedviews@gmail.com. I'd love to answer those as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Daniel, the water boy here. In the Scorch Trials, you gotta drink a lot of water because it is hot outside. I'll give this movie 4 out of 8 water cups. You gotta drink that high quality H2O.